everyone, so final video review for this week is for Tracing Invisible Threads by Fonseca. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you are on Facebook or on my blog, then the link is within the post. And this is the video review. So Tracing Invisible Threads by Fonseca is the second of my Ilva arcs, and it was, brace yourselves, wow. It was an amazing story, like really amazing. Eleanor, she finds herself back home in Melbourne, and her path crosses with historian Alexa's. As a photographer, Eleanor's passions also include history, which is something that Alexa's working on, and especially the type of history that obviously involves picture collections, because she's a photographer. So with Alexa, they find themselves kind of tangled up in past coincidences and family histories on both their sides that lead them on a path to discover the truth about a member of Alexa's family. And whilst working closely together, their fated meeting and emotional connection kind of leads to them to a better understanding of the past, but also now what they want from the future and from one another. So it's this, how can I explain it? Invisible web. That's what it is. So this was a brilliant story. It had romance, it had mystery, and it had a historical edge interwoven, which was so good. So it's not a historical romance, but it has that history interwoven into this romance. It's great. It's fantastic. And it's a story that leaves you very much believing in the Chinese proverb that is at the start. And it'll also leave you believing, if you don't already, in fate and coincidences. So I already believe in these things, but Alexa and Eleanor's story only sort of further cemented that for me. I already believe that you meet who you're meant to meet, and if they stay in your life, they stay in your life, and if they don't, they don't. And that sometimes you're just fated to meet people because there's a connection that you haven't discovered yet, which is definitely what was going on here. So it's almost like the universe knows that you need to meet these people, and it was so likely and yet unlikely at the same time that it had to be true. Like, you couldn't deny it. It just had to be true. And the way they were connected was absolutely fascinating. And then what brought them together opened up the possibility to discover all that, like the meaning behind it all and the reason they were brought together and what it all means for them and their connection and why they get on so well and all these things. And yet, if it weren't for any of that happening, these soulmates never would have met, probably. Or they may have done, you just never know. But it's just some coincidences that meant the soulmates would meet in future, and it's almost planned, but you don't know who's planning it. It's great, and it's sort of such a concept that I love. I could drive myself crazy trying to work it out, but I love it. Reiterating that, you know, obviously the choices you make, they may not even be your own decisions, but they have impacts on your future and where you're going. And sometimes you've unconsciously made the decision and you don't really know why until you get further down the line, and then you figure it out and you think, oh, okay, that's why I did that, or that's why this came into my life, or this is why I accidentally discovered that. And it's great when you find the meaning, but sometimes you won't find the meaning and sometimes you will, and I just love that. But yeah, like I said, I could drive myself mad going around in circles, but I absolutely love it. And that's what I did reading this. I was enjoying every second of like working out whether they meant to make that choice, or like whether this was meant to happen, or whether this was just a strange coincidence, or whether there was going to be more. And I love that. Fate somehow destined just to know who should be in your life, all that type of stuff. It's just really, it's magical in a way, but you just know that magic probably isn't involved. It's coincidence and fate. But how does it know to do that? See what I mean? I'm driving myself mad. Anyway, I was absolutely fascinated. Every little detail of the story, I loved it. And what connected the characters kept bringing them closer and closer. And then I got fully invested in the mystery, and I was really eager to know what it all meant, and then the truth, as much as the characters did. They really wanted to know, and they really wanted to make sure they discovered what happened. So whilst on their adventure, and obviously they're discovering the truth about Alexa's ancestor and how it intertwined with one of Eleanor's, then forged an even stronger connection between them, because they had a motive to to uncover stuff, but it also led to some very intense moments between them because of what it all meant as well and how they got to that point. So there was some really intense and emotional moments. So for me, this story is more about the mystery of their past and how that's brought them to this moment in the future together, their meeting, more so than their relationship and everything, even though that was present, but it just wasn't the main focus for me of this story. It was more the mystery of what happened to Alexa's ancestor and why that happened. So I liked that. It was really good. And as much as I love their relationship, I know it's just the start for Alexa and Eleanor. So I hope we see more of them in future, because I know we've only just had snapshots, and they're going to have a really exciting adventure in their future. So I really, really want to experience that with them. And although Alexa has a lot of worries and vulnerabilities in this one, overcoming them, I just know they're going to be one hell of a team. They're going to be amazing. So I say this is a truly beautiful story. It gives you a lot to think about. It will make you sort of contemplate things, and it delivers an exciting plot all at the same time. The cast of characters is fantastic. They're all unique. They've all got edge, and they again will leave you questioning certain things. But the mystery gives the focus, and it was great piecing all those bits together with them and trying to work it out, getting the clues along the way. And even when Alexa and Eleanor did work it all out, I hadn't been able to predict it, and I wasn't expecting what they uncovered. It was fantastic. And again, all those links, all those invisible threads holding it all together, it was so good. So this truly is great. It's insightful and it's thought-provoking, and I just enjoyed every second of it. So I really highly recommend it. And also, it has the most gorgeous cover. Like, if you haven't seen the cover yet, oh, the cover is so pretty. I can't wait to read it again. It's one of those stories that I think I would go back to because I like the mystery, and I'm still probably going to be surprised the next time I read it. So I'm really looking forward to reading it again, because I'm probably going to notice different things, because now I know the outcome. I'm going to notice different things, which is great. I always love a book where you can go back and it's like reading it for the first time again. It's so good. So I can't wait to read that. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Tracing Invisible Threads by C. Fonseca, which I hope you will. If you've read Tracing Invisible Threads, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below, please get involved, please discuss it, because it's one of those books you just have to kind of talk about. It's got those things in that you have to discuss, and it's a great point for discussion as well. So if you have a book club, this is probably good for that as well. So yeah, I would really like to hear your thoughts on it. If you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to be read list, you're planning to read it, or you're now really intrigued and thinking, I must read that book, again, comment below, let us know that you're interested in reading it, because it's always great to hear what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you love it. Bye.